So let's observe the properties of session method and how it is different from call transaction,
Call transaction method.
right?
It's
First thing, processing. Both follows both the call
screen
transaction,
processing. Screen processing.
screen processing need to record the screen. That is common. Okay. Processing is
Asynchronous processing.
asynchronous processing. That means can transfer
Data transfer to multiple
data to
transaction code.
transaction codes. Can so session method can handle session method can handle multiple transaction codes at the same time in the same process. Okay. Update is synchronous update. Wait for
Only see previous complete.
if there is a failure. Next, records cannot process until fixing the previous record error. Okay, that is synchronous processing. If there is a error, for example, we are processing 1000 records, there is a error at 10th record. 10th record, there is a issue in the data. Then the complete process will stops. We need to fix the error and we need to reprocess the session. Okay.
Yes, sir.
For session, transaction code is
Inbuilt
SM32.
error handling.
So for session, to check the error log, the transaction code is SM35. Here we,
SM35.
yeah, once you executed the program, right, it won't create the data automatically, just like call transaction. Once you executed that program, BDC program using session method, then you have to go to transaction code SM35 and you need to process the session. Okay, then only records will be updated.
Yes.
We here in call transaction we use that syntax, call transaction syntax, but here in session method we use function modules. They are bdc underscore open underscore group, bdc insert, and bdc close underscore group. This is to close the session. First we open the session, BDC insert is to process the data. BDC close group is to close the
In the
session,
session.
right? Now, so these are the important differences between call transaction and session method. So call transaction and session method both follows screen processing
Screen.
only. But here data processing mode is synchronous for call transaction. It can process data to only a single transaction code. Synchronous processing. Don't confuse between update and processing. For call transaction, processing is synchronous, can transfer data to only single transaction code. Update is synchronous
And
and
asynchronous.
asynchronous. It will support both, right?
Yes,
By
sir.
default, asynchronous update. It won't wait for the previous record's database update. It will
Yes.
continue with the next record. So that means call transaction is faster than session method. But there is no inbuilt error handling or implicit error handling available in call transaction.
Call
We have to
transaction.
use a structure BDC MSG COLL to handle the error log.
Errors.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But here, session method, the processing is asynchronous. Processing is asynchronous in session method. That means it can transfer data to multiple transaction codes at the
Transaction
same time.
codes.
So we can process, for example, in call transaction, we can update only MM01 transaction code. We can create records only in MM01 transaction code. But if you use session method, you can create transaction codes in MM01, and along with that, you can also create records in VA01. Like multiple transaction codes you can handle in the single program. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's a very important interview question. Difference between call transaction and session method.
Yes, sir.
What is the alternative for call transaction and session method? BAPI.
Copy.
When there is no BAPI available, then we have to go for call transaction and session method. Okay. When we have
Yes, sir.
huge data and when we need a better error handling, we go for session method. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Now let's create one
Oh,
example. So let's take MM01 example to create the material. Okay. So we'll create a BDC program to create the materials, some bulk materials in a SAP system. Input is file. That might be a text file or Excel file. That's up to your choice. Okay. Before creating a program, what we need? We need recording, right? Screen recording, right? For BDC.
yes, sir. Screen record.
For screen recording, what is the input? We need to know how to create a record manually. That might be VA01, ME21N or material MM01. First, we need to understand how to create manually so that you can create a program to repeat the same process, right?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no?
Yes, sir.
First, let's create the material and observe how we need to create a material and what are the mandatory inputs we need to pass. Okay. So depends on the
Yes, sir.
inputs what we are entering here in the screen. We have to prepare our file. We have to place all those input details in the file. Okay. So we can create material in two ways. One is taking the reference of the existing material and create, right? And by providing industry sector and material type, we can create without providing the material
Okay.
number, because material number will automatically generate, depends on the sequence. Okay, there is other way we can also define material numbers if you want any specific names. Okay,
Okay, sir.
let's create a
Yes,
record with material number. We will provide our own material numbers. For example, mat, we have to choose separate materials, mat hyphen 100. Let's create this material. So okay, industry sector is mechanical engineering. I'll select finished product, material type as finished product. I'll select this. To know the code, we'll check in the table or in the check table. Okay, what is the code for this mechanical engineering and finished product?
product.
Now what is the next step?
Enter.
Click on enter. Now
Basic.
we need to populate all the details or not. Usually functional will know better details, like what is the data they need to enter. For now I'll select only basic data. Okay,
Yes.
continue. Here it is asking for plant and storage location. I don't know if it is a valid data or not. Yeah, it is allowed. Plant and storage location is allowed. Now, so what are the details we need to provide here?
Description of
Description,
truck material.
material, mat 100, and unit of measurement. Unit of measurement I'll provide kg. And if you want to provide material group, you can provide. Where is this material group? Somewhere. Okay, so you can also provide plant data if you want. So plant data is automatically populated. Plant 001, storage location is 01. Now click on save. Our enhancement is triggering. Ignore that. Material type does not exist. Are we returning that error here? So it's not accepting this material type. Let's select other material type. So this is the difficult part here. You need to know the steps to create it. Unit of measurement. So the screen displaying depends on the material type. I'll take kg. I don't know the material group, exact material group, but I'll select it from F4 help. Uh, I will select this some more cable. Okay, this is my material group. Click on save. Let's see, is it going to save or not? Can someone delete the breakpoint in the meantime? Can someone go to that implementation and remove that breakpoint and activate? Because it is triggering every time. The baddie implementation.
Yes, sir.
Try in 2020 also, because 2021 is very slow. Let's check in MM03, is it created or not? So material 100 is created, right? So let's go on the SC11 table to understand the codes. Like what is the industry sector we have taken and what is the material type. So now what are the details we need to provide in the file? We need to provide the material number, and this is material type INTR. Industry sector is M. Material group is this. What are the other details we have provided? Unit of measurement, right? We need to provide unit of measurement. Let's take Excel file. Do you want Excel file or text file? So let's maintain an Excel file. What is the first field? What is the first field we need to maintain in the file?
Material number.
Yeah, let's take material, and the other input we need is
industry material.
yeah, industry sector. Industry sector, and
Mm,
what is other details? What are the mandatory details we have provided?
desc-
Description.
description units.
Unit of measure,
Okay. Yes, sir.
UOM, and what is the other details? Material group,
Group
and what is the other details we provided? Material text also, right? Material description.
Yes, sir.
description.
Okay. Now
Yes,
let's
sir.
maintain the data. Material 100 is already there, so that I'll start with 100. Let's build the file. Okay. We'll take some 10 records. Okay. Material type INTR. You can take different types also. Depends on the material properties, right? You can take different material types also. For now, we are taking the same material type in the file. But usually, material types, industry sectors, these will be different. Unit of measurements will be different. Depends on the material properties. Okay. M. Next will UOM, right? So I'll take KZ for few of them, and I'll take EA. EA means each for few of them. Next, material description. Okay, material group, right? You can also take different material groups. For now, I am taking the same material group. Usually, you are not going to prepare this file. Please remember, okay? Someone should give you this file with the data, and you need to create a BDC program.
Okay.
BDC program for that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
10. Okay, so our data is ready. First one is header. This is not the values, right? Just for our understanding, we are preparing this header to know which value belongs to which field, right? So you should ignore this header record, right? Now save this file, save as, I'll save it in the desktop. Material data file, save it. Now close the file. Now create your program, right? So we can also copy our previous program with Excel file upload, but anyway, I'll create a new program.
Yes.
So create a program. I've shown you, right? We can also generate a program automatically without creating program, right? But now we are going to create a program. So in this BDC, right, we have an important structure, that is BDC data structure, that you can observe here. Okay. Before that,
Yes.
let's record the transaction code. What is the T code to record?
SHTB.
SHTB. It is very easy if you understand what we are doing here. We just need to copy and paste most of the details. Create a new recording. What is the transaction code?
MM0.
Yes.
Start recording.
Yes.
Enter the material. Select the industry sector. Select the material type. What we have selected, some inter, you can select any. Let's select inter materials. Click on enter or continue. Now select basic data tab. Click on continue. Now provide the material description. Provide unit of measurement. And provide the material group. Click on save. Looks like you guys haven't deleted the breakpoint. Anyway, it is generated. We'll ignore these details. These are all, this belongs to debugging, I think, from 21. Okay, from line number 21, we need to ignore.
Okay.
Anyway, so observe here. So this is the structure, BDC data structure reference. What are the fields we have in BDC data structure? program, program name, screen number. This is called Dyn Pro. Dyn Pro means Dyn begin. Dyn begin, field name, field value. This is the BDC data structure, and we need to populate as it is details. Whatever the steps here recorded, we need to populate to BDC data structure. Okay. What are the
Yes,
fields
sir.
in BDC data structure? Program, Dyn Pro. Dyn
Screen.
Pro, we call it as Dyn Pro. The field name is Dyn Pro. Dyn Pro nothing but screen. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Dyn Pro nothing but screen.
Screen.
Dyn begin. Dyn begin nothing but start ID. Okay. So where you need to place your cursor, that is Dyn begin or start ID. Okay. The cursor
Yes,
position.
sir.
This one.
Yes, sir.
If you see this BDC cursor, right?
Mm.
Where it is in
Yes,
now?
sir.
DYTXT.
Which?
So that is the default cursor position when you open the screen. Okay. So to set the default cursor position, we use BDC cursor. Then
Yes.
now create a program with reference to the structure, and you know how to generate a program automatically. But let's create a program. And here first observe the steps what we did. So this is the first screen, initial screen. BDC cursor is in MTART. MTART nothing but material type, right?
Yes, sir.
So cursor is default, by default we have in MTART. Then what we did? We have entered material number, industry sector, and material type. And
Right.
what we did? We press enter. That is the OK code equal to enter. And these values to populate the screen. These are the screen fields. These are the screen fields. We populated with these values. Next, after pressing enter, it navigated to the next screen. There we selected the first option, that is basic data option, right? This one, that is this one. KZSEL of 01. That means we selected the first tab, only the first tab. Equal to X, because we
X.
selected only the first tab. If you
Yes,
selected multiple tabs, you can see multiple fields here of 02, 03, 04 like that. Okay. Then what we did? We click continue. Then it is navigated to the next screen. What we did there? We populated the material text. We populated the unit of measurement,
unit
material
of
group, and we click on
unit.
save. This is the OK code. Equal to BU is for
Save.
save. Now let's create a program. Here you can ignore these two steps, sub-screen steps. Okay.
Okay,
These
sir.
are not required for us. Let's create a program. First we need upload structure, right? File upload structure. What are the fields we have in the file?
Material.
Material. What is the next field?
Char. BSH.
I think material type. Material type. MTART. Next industry sector MBRSH.
MBRSH. Unit of
Unit of measurement. That is mains. Don't remember the data element. Okay, mains only.
mains only, sir. Mains.
Material group.
Quantity.
Same. Data element is also same for this. Material text. These are the fields, right? We have in that structure
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
file
sir.
in the same order.
Installer table is data.
Have created the file upload structure. Then we need a BDC data structure, right, to populate the steps. For that, LT underscore BDC data type BDC data structure. Okay, this is very important structure for error handling.
BDC CD.
This structure for error handling. Anyway, it is optional. If you want to do error handling, we need to use this structure.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What is the field name? Okay. Now, what are the inputs for this program? File, right? File path.
Yes, sir.
I'll take it as local file because for Excel function module, the type is type local file, and I'll make it as obligatory. It is mandatory, and call the function module pattern convert XLS to test. I think text convert XLS to SAP.
That's right.
Now we need to define
Got it.
for raw data. We need to define one internal table that is with type this. This is a table type. Pass LT underscore raw. Do we have header? Yes, right?
Yes, sir. Text or above true.
Then pass the file path. I need F4 help, right?
Yes.
For that,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
use a function module. F4 file name. Field name is
Five. Nomenclature.
the only doubt is what is this file name type in importing? Let me check. If it is okay, it is also type local file. So we don't need to use any string variable to handle this. It is also type local file, so no issues. We can
Yes,
directly
sir.
take this. Okay, download the data, converted data into LT data, handle the exceptions, and you can use format message function module to read the error messages. So once the data is ready, then loop into WA underscore data end loop. In between loop and end loop, what we need to do? We need to populate BDC data structure. Okay. We need to take one work area also for BDC data structure. Now populate the data here. What are the fields we have in BDC data structure? Program, DynPro,
Screen.
DynBegin, field name, field value, same like what you are able to see here in the recording, but technical field names are little different. Program, dyn pro,
Then,
dyn begin,
then
f
begin.
name and field name and field value. Okay,
Okay, sir.
for program we need to pass the program name, dyn pro screen number, dyn begin is a screen
Reading.
beginning point of the screen, and field
Start.
name, screen field name and the corresponding value we have to pass, just like the recording. What like whatever the details we have in the recording, pass same order. First, what are the details we have?
Program.
Program, screen number
Screen.
and start id. Start id
Start.
nothing but begin id. So field name and field name field value are empty, right?
Yes.
So
Yes,
pass
sir.
in the same manner. Program, dyn pro, dyn begin. Let's take these 5 fields. Equal to, what is the program name? Copy here, paste here. You can also use subroutines for this. Okay, instead of repeating same steps again and again. Dyn begin, x means, so we can pass
X.
subapp underscore true instead of x. Okay, then field name and field value are empty for that record. Then append
IT. LT.
and clear, same like your field catalog.
Okay.
Work area data.
Next step, next record, third line, BDC cursor, default cursor position. Anyway, this is optional. Okay, if you want to populate, you can populate. What are the details we need to populate for this? Program, screen number, begin id is empty. We have to pass field name and field value. I'll remove this. So field name is BDC cursor
BDC cursor.
MMDDT.
RM.
is the field name. Next,
Yes, sir.
BDC OK code. Field name is OK code and field value is equal to enter. That is
Equal to enter.
pass in the same way.
Yes,
Copy
sir.
this. That's what. If you use subroutines, right, you don't need to repeat every time. Okay, you can try these details with subroutine. What is the OK code?
Equal to enter.
Equal to enter.
Next, what we did? Populate the material number and material value. Do we need to pass this? MAT115 for field value. Which one we need to pass for field value? Field name is Matner. What is the field
At
value?
115.
115. Then it's going to create 115 forever every time, right? What we need to pass here? We have uploaded the file data, right?
Yes, sir.
The material numbers are in file, right? That is the same internal table we are looping, right? So pass that data here. hyphen Matner. This value record by record, these material numbers will be populated, right?
By giving okay.
If you pass the value which we have in the recording, every time it will try to create same material 115, right? Now what is the next value? MBRSH, industry sector. Do we need to pass that value from SHDB or from file?
Fine.
From file, right? Values, don't take it from recording. We have to pass it from file. Whatever the data we are maintaining in the file. Okay.
Yes, sir.
For other details, if you don't know the data, you can hard code it using some value. Okay. Next, what is the next value? Next field, material type, MTART. Because these details we have maintained in the file, so this data should be
Fine.
populated from file, record by record,
Yes, sir.
right? Completed. We have populated all the screen fields. Next step, again, program, screen, begin ID. Just like how we have it in the recording. Copy the program name, DynPro, and these details. Program name is same, but screen number is different.
17.
Different. 17.
Dyn begin is true, completed. Now, once we navigated to that screen, BDC cursor, I'm not populating this. I'll directly select it. Select the which one? Checkbox. Field value equal.
About to.
Oh, I think we left this step, OK code step. Before that, we have to add OK code. Here, add OK code. OK code equal to enter. Should be in capital letter. Okay, completed. Next, this is completed. I'm not using BDC cursor, no issue. So it is only for just for default cursor position. Next screen. Program name is same,
4.
screen number is different.
4004.
Copy this. You can modularize this data population using subroutines. Okay,
Yes.
then begin equal to true. Yes. Next, BDC OK code. I'll copy this. Equal
Equal to
to
BU.
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 That is for save. When user click on save. So these details ignores the details. Populate the material text.
AKT.
What is the material text you have to pass?
W. Date. Work. Yes, sir.
Material text what we are maintaining in the file, not the value we have in the recording, right?
WA data.
Next, one for unit of measurement. What is the field name? Mains, I think. Anyway, let's copy it.
MEIN
Let's copy it to the
means
notebook.
Mara
Copy.
means
Whatever the unit of measurement that is maintained in the file should be
yes,
populated
sir.
to that screen field. Next, material
Mara
group.
MUTKN.
Whatever the data that is maintained in the file for
MUTK
that
file.
material group will be populated, right?
Yes, sir.
Next, we have populated the BDC data. These results are unnecessary, not relevant to us, okay?
Yes,
Because
sir.
it is triggered some debugger, we clicked on some actions, right? So please ignore all of that. Okay, completed. Now, what next? We need to call the transaction. If LT underscore data is not initial, that means if BDC steps are populated, then only call the call transaction. Call transaction. What is the transaction code?
MM01.
MM01 using which one? LT BDC data, right? Update can be synchronous
Synchronous.
or
Sorry, synchronous.
asynchronous, but by default it will take asynchronous update. I'm not passing.
Yes, sir.
Mode, we have modes. That
Mm.
means all screen, it will display all screens how data
Okay.
is populating, or E means error screens. So
Error
it will
screen.
display the screen whenever we have error. Otherwise it will process in background. Everything it will populate in background, and no screens. It will
Only no
process everything
screen.
in background. Screens are not visible. Okay. For testing, if there is any error, for testing purpose, we can use E to display the error screen.
Yes, sir.
We'll do one thing. We'll use one more parameter for mode so that you can observe the different modes. So I can dynamically pass some mode. Okay. So instead of this, p underscore mode. Anyway, okay.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Oh, sorry, messages. Messages into
IT machine.
BDC CO, MSG COLL, that internal table. That's it.
So,
We use another parameter, that is CTU params. CTU underscore params. That is to set the default screen size. What is the structure for
default
CTU params?
screen size
Set to set the
setting.
default screen size, set the default resolution of the screen. We'll see that later. Okay. That's it. So once the process is completed, we'll return all the messages into we forgot one thing. We need to refresh the BDC data for every record after processing. Okay, otherwise previous record details will be populated in the call transaction details. So clear BDC data and work area also. Okay, please make sure to create the BDC data internal table always. After the and in end of selection, we'll display the message log. Okay, pretty printer. So check the syntax. Oh, okay. All syntax servers are fixed. Now I'm using A. What is A mode? All screens mode.
Mode.
Will display the screen
Also,
processing. Okay. Usually we should not use that to execute the program. That is only for testing. Okay. So you can understand how the data is populating to the screen. Execute. Hello, file is uploading. File is uploaded. If everything is correct, the BDC should start. Okay, looks like I kept this file open. That's why the program is not able to access this file. Let me close this. So if you are using Excel files, don't keep it open. Okay.
sir.
Now if you observe, I've executed the program. It is populating first record 101 and the populated industry sector and material type. Right? Click on
Yes,
continue.
sir.
Usually when we are in all screen modes, we have to do this action. Okay code. Continue. It is automatically selected. Click on continue. Data is automatically populated in the corresponding screen fields. Now click on equal to B,
Yes.
that is save. Next, one transaction is completed, so this breakpoint is executed. Okay, one transaction is completed. Now second record is populating. It is repeating same steps, right,
Yes, sir.
for every record.
Save.
For third record,
Nothing.
again the same process, correct?
Sir.
So this process will repeat until all records are created, right? If you use no screens, it will process everything in background. Okay, you can't see the screens when we are processing in no screen mode.
Screens.
When error screens will trigger, when there is a error,
Error.
right? So only difference for session method is, instead of call transaction statement, we need to use function modules to create the session and process it. Okay, remaining steps are same for session method also. Okay, populating BDC data and everything is same. Instead of call transaction statement, we need to use
Session.
Function.
function modules.
Yes.
Okay, clear? When you are executing, try with the no screens mode. Okay, if you want to trigger the error screens, maintain some issue or maintain some error in the file. For example, remove unit of measurement for any of the record and use E mode as E. Then the screen should trigger only for this record. Remaining
Sure.
record should process in background. Okay, when you use E. Also change the material numbers, because already processed material numbers, already created material numbers cannot be accepted again, right? So once you are done with this material numbers, create new material numbers in the file. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in the next session we'll see session and BAPI. Okay.